Dang it. And I missed Thunder Wave. What is with this game? What? YouTube, today we're using a brand new team, and this team was created by the 2016 Pokemon World Champion Wolfe Glick, and it was used on a video to teach Jaden animation some VGC. It was a really cool video. I highly recommend go checking it out. I'll link the video down below in the description alongside the paste bin of the team, and you could of course try out the rent code on your screen right here. And I'm pretty interested. We have a Assault Vestia Veltal, Life Orb Groudon, and Charizard. It seems like a pretty interesting mix. You got some pretty offensive mons, and then you got like a really good way of slowing down the pace with Gastron, Yveltal, and Grimmsnarl. We'll see how it goes. I'm not the biggest fan of Assault Vest Yveltal because I feel like it's really hard to set up for like stall wars, especially if you're relying on crits. But this team has like a lot of offensive pressure with the Charizard and Groudon, where I could probably make up for that and get some fast KOs, which is really nice here. But let's get started and play some games. Okay, we have basically a mirror. No, it's not a mirror. There's no Eliki and there's no Yveltal. It's just Zacian and Cineroar, but pretty much very similar teams here. I don't know how to define this. Zacian, of course, is just really good against these two, especially with no Incineroar on my side. However, it's tough because my damage output against Zard is strange here. They do have a Gastro, which I don't know if they bring here. That's the thing. If they bring Gastro, it's weird because I don't have damage dealing answers against Gastrodon, and I don't think I can bring my own. I think I go with like Groudon, Yveltal, Eliki, and Charizard. And the reason I bring Eliki is because the Electro is just so huge in this matchup. I think it's really important. I think we're gonna go with like Eliki, maybe Eliki Groudon. I could see myself going Eliki Groudon. I do think I need the Yveltal around. Yeah, I think we just go with these. We'll find out because I might max the Groudon and then the Charizard, but I do really like the idea of maxing the Charizard as well. I think Groudon is just a good lead because offensively it puts on a lot of pressure against their entire team. And I like having the option to save the Charizard in case it's a backup option because I don't want to commit Zard here because I don't know what they would lead. Yeah, like if they let something like this is something that's okay. I think this is an okay lead for me. It's a mind game here. Does Charizard protect, switch out, or max guard here, or does it like stay in? That's a big question here, I think, because I could realistically just go for a Electroweb into a Rock Slide and knock out the Charizard turn one, which isn't a bad option here. Realistically, it would be pretty strong. However, I just don't know if that's the play here. I feel like protecting is okay here. I think double protecting is okay here. I want to scout for the Charizard protector max guard, and I think Groudon's probably just going to throw off a Blades. If they actually Dynamax the Charizard, like against Groudon Eliki, yeah, okay, they switch out, which is fair too. But I was about to say, if they attacked, that would have been so weird. They do bring in the Incineroar, so I could have probably went for Precipice Blades here. I think that's an okay trade-off though. I really don't mind this too much. I just hope that the Groudon didn't go for the Sword Stance here. It looks like they maxed, which is okay here. I definitely will appreciate that. Okay. So they didn't max the Charizard though, actually. So it's interesting to see the Groudon max here. Are they just trying to get rid of Eliki immediately? I'd imagine last Pokemon Zacian, so I don't have to deal with Grimmsnarl, unfortunately. No Thunder Waves, no Scary Faces, no shenanigans right there with Trick. We do go for the double protect here, and I think this is a pretty good turn because I guess the worst is like Max Quake and the Eliki, and I take all this damage, but as long as the Eliki's alive, I still have T-Bolt and Electrowave pressure for Zacian and the Charizard in the back. We are going to see the Max Quake option into the Eliki. Okay, it brings me down to my Sash. Jeez. Oh, it crit me. Okay, I was like, I thought that would do 60% to protect. But yeah, that's really annoying now. That's really annoying. Now I don't think I can afford to swap out. I think they're rock falling my Groudon, and I think they're faking out the... did they even have to fake out the Eliki? I don't feel like they have to. I'm just going to try to throw off a Precipice Blades and swap to my Yveltal. I think I'm going to rely on my Charizard endgame. I just don't know what they're going to accomplish here. I could see fake out into either slot. I could see Parting Shot out immediately, which would be a really good case for me, I think. I don't think they're hard switching Incineroar because hard switching Incineroar seems like a sentence for that Charizard if I go for Thunderbolt. I think this is probably Rock Fall to try to get rid of my Eliki guaranteed. We'll find out. They just went for fake out, which is... Oh, in the Groudon. Yeah, okay. I was about to say if that was an Eliki, would have been huge. We do see a rock fall. I don't know. I think this is Groudon, but maybe they targeted Yveltal. Okay, no, perfect. Yeah, that's what I expected. So that's pretty big. All right. Am I counterplaying with Dynamax and Yveltal? I feel like that's not a good option. I don't even think I need Yveltal here. Yeah, I don't think I would need Yveltal here. I think what I go for here... I just draw off a Precipice Blades. I do, because Precipice Blades does do a lot of damage, and I think I weakened the Charizard. But saving the Groudon for Sun could be huge for Charizard, but maybe I just don't need the Wildfire at all. I could do it though, but the thing is I'd have to risk either my Charizard, which isn't a good play here. Although I think they would probably max Quake, or actually, I think I'm going to foul play anyway. I'm going to foul play the Groudon. I'm going to swap out into Charizard. The reason is I highly doubt that they're going for Rockfall in the Groudon here. They're either Rockfalling my Yveltal or they're going for the max Quake in the Groudon. And I think in that case, I can get Charizard in and save the Sun. They do hard swap into Zacian. Okay, that works. I'll take it. And what are they doing with... If they take... They can't knock out the Yveltal, but if they could, that would actually be really good for me. I do get a huge foul play off into the Groudon slot. That's really good damage. We're going to see a rock fall. This should be the Yveltal, I imagine. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yveltal's able to survive. Not that big of a deal. Do I KO the... I guess now the question is, do I KO the Charizard with Air... Or the Groudon with Airstream? I think that's a pretty big question here. I could just Protect here. Protect into Sucker Punch doesn't seem like a bad option to sack my Yveltal. And I do kind of like that option. If they go in Incineroar, that's okay here. But I imagine the Groudon does want to threaten the Charizard because it's the only Pokemon that actually has a move that can hit Charizard. Or like a huge amount of damage other than Behemoth Blade. But Zacian goes down and that's pretty bad for them still. I think we just trade here with the Sucker Punch. And then I think I get Groudon in. And then I think I Airstream Precipice Blades and just really pressure their team because they don't have swaps in for that. And then afterward, once I'm sped up with the Groudon, my Groudon could just win the game. And I think that's what I'm aiming for here. Let's see if that works out, because this might not. I could definitely see myself losing here to a bunch of other factors, especially a hard swap here. They hard swapped the Zacian though into Incineroar. Charizard, okay. As long as it's not Ancient Power, I should be okay. So we do go for the Protect with the Charizard. Gonna be... Okay, no Protect. Here comes the Sucker Punch. Huge damage. Stone Edge. Okay, so that should be a Assault Vest then. Okay. That should be a Assault Vest guaranteed. All right. I guess this is still weird. I guess I sack Eliki here at this point. Yeah, I think we sack Eliki here. If there's any time to sack Eliki, it's now. I think we just Sucker Punch here the Charizard then. Do we have to Sucker Punch Charizard? If I'm going for Rock Slide KO anyway, I'm going to KO the Charizard with Groudon. I feel like I'm not getting any difference between the Groudon or not. It's the question of who do I want to Sucker Punch, and I feel like I don't need it for any, but I might as well just go for the Groudon anyway. Because they do have a special defense boost now that I think about it. I think I'm going to sack Eliki and Yveltal here to get in my Charizard next to Groudon and win. Unless Ancient Power from their Zard is a thing. I guess we get to find out here. Because if I get to find out here, there's a way I can play around it. Sucker Punch once again. Well, now it's guaranteed going down. Okay, they just went for Heat Wave. Eliki avoids, although it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I'm going down regardless. Yveltal survives. Unless Sand is up. If Sand's up, then it could be nice. Because then I don't even have to go Groudon. I can Airstream T-Bolt. Although my plan is to get the KO. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is ideal. I don't think... Okay, yeah. It should be a win. I should be able to Airstream with the... I think the Charizard now. Everything on their team goes down to Airstream at this point other than Zacian. And of course, Zacian is just going to feint to the Groudon or my Charizard in the late game. And that's what I'm aiming for. Groudon and Charizard in. And it's time for Charizard to do some Charizard things. My only concern is, I guess, if it's Scarf Charizard. That could be a little bit of an issue. Because they would actually probably be able to KO my entire team afterward. But yeah, I can't afford them to hit a Stone Edge, of course. So we go for the Protect and Airstream here. If it is Scarf Charizard, how do I play around it? Do I have a way to play around it? I don't think I do. Oh wait, no, I do. Well, it depends, right? It depends on how fast their Charizard is. I feel like Scarf should run Modest. If it's Modest Scarf Charizard, I outspeed it with mine. They switch out their Charizard into Incineroar. Makes sense. Life Orb Precipice Blaze, so it's going to really threaten them in the late game. So this is completely okay. Incineroar going to get intimidated off in the ground. However, I still have a -1. Rock Slide, Precipice Blaze that can really threaten. Probably going to be the Precipice Blades upcoming because it does, I think, knock out the Incineroar. Unless this is Shucka. I could definitely see this being Shucka on Incin with Zacian. However, even if that's the case, Fire Shot doesn't really slow down my Charizard because in the sun, we're just dishing out way too much damage against their entire team. And yeah, like the Groudon, yeah, you can reduce the damage output, but I still think I'm knocking out every single member of your team, unless it's maybe the own Charizard, but I think it's extremely unlikely that I just don't pick up the knockout with a Rock Slide with my Charizard, or not my Charizard, my Groudon at -2 attack. If they Parting Shot out my Zard, go Charizard, and they also take Solar Power as well. Actually, I'd probably still knock out. Okay, we got the speed boost, which is important because now we outspeed their Zacian. And now we can go for a Wildfire. And Charizard are going to come in for that side. Interesting. Okay. If they protect, that's okay because that confirms it's not Scarf, which means I always stress in them in Rock Slide afterward. And I can always go for an Airstream here and a Precipice Blades into this slot. Fake Out doesn't accomplish anything here because I'm pretty sure I knock out their Charizard with the max Airstream at the Solar Power boost. I'm pretty sure at least. And then Life Orb Precipice Blaze threatens a lot. Maybe they switch out their Charizard and Zacian, but I think Airstream into a Life Orb Precipice Blaze will still knock them out, although they could maybe just Fake Out here, prevent that. If they go for that, is it that big of a deal? Not really. I'm pretty sure that I just click Blades and then I click Wildfire once again, and I'm completely okay. I get the Wildfire chip. And my threats are still faster than theirs. Okay, they have Protect. Okay. So we confirm it's not Scarf Charizard, so I don't have to worry about Scarf Charizard being a thing. And yeah, they go for Fake Out Protect, which actually kind of works out in their situation because they kind of stall it out for Zacian. However, yeah, at this point in the game, it's looking still really bad for them. I think I could just go for a Max Quake. How do I want to accomplish this? I think I just Airstream the Charizard again, and I think I Precipice Blades, because then I get single target Life or Precipice Blades into their Incineroar slot, and I think that's pretty good here. Because I was thinking, oh, I could double up here with like Max Quake here, or Airstream into a Rock Slide. A, that could proc the Citrus Berry on the Incineroar slot, which I think is terrible for my position. B, even if they get double protect and I miss the Blades, I don't think it's the end of the world, because I still threat. I think I have to risk misses at that point, but I think that's okay. They have to like get double protects into several misses, and I think this is what they're aiming for. It is probably their only way they win. And we're gonna see. Okay, no double protect attempt. That's really good for me. In Airstream, goodbye. Do I go for Blast Burn or do I go for Precipice Blaze? I think I go for Blast Burn afterward. So goodbye Charizard. Hit the Blades. Okay, we do hit the Blades. That should secure it, because I'm pretty sure since you're not Shucka Berry, this is a Life for Blades, a single target. Always KO Incineroar. Excellent. Excellent. Incineroar goes down, and that should be it. Well, I can miss attacks. I go down to Behemoth Blade from Zacian. Guaranteed. At least I'm not in range of quick attack. Life Orb Blades from Groudon at -1. Probably doesn't knock out their Zacian. Actually does it. I think they live spread. Okay. Depends on how bulky their Zacian is, because this is single target Blades after all. Okay, we'll find out. But they need me to miss several attacks here at this point. A Blast Burn into their Zacian, a Precipice Blades here. I could Fire Punch Scorching Sand. However, I just don't know if that KOs. Maybe it does. It's Solar Power Scorching Sand and then Fire Punch Life Orb. I think it probably would have. I think that was probably the better option. But like, I would have had to miss so many moves here at this point. I probably had to miss like 2 out of the 3 options I had, which are pretty high odds. Although, yeah, Scorching Sand, Fire Punch, I think was the better choice there. I do think it was a better choice after all. However, still able to pick up the win there. And yeah, their Charizard was very scary potentially, although it didn't really accomplish much because they Dynamaxed the Groudon. And because they Dynamaxed the Groudon, I was able to play around it. I was able to chip away the Groudon, and then I was able to set up for Charizard. And their team was really weak to Charizard with what they had there. They kind of used up the max when I think they were trying to set up max Quakes for the Charizard coming in, because I think they recognized that I probably had Charizard and they were trying to survive the attacks, probably because it was a Sylvest on the Groudon, I imagine. However, because they took so much damage from all the moves I was going for it, they kind of let themselves get weakened, and I was able to preserve the Charizard for the late game when their Groudon was weakened, able to pick up the knock-on Groudon, which was the only really big threat to Charizard other than an Ancient Power on their Charizard. That I was able to set up like an Airstream sweep with Groudon next to Charizard, which was fantastic. If you currently enjoyed the content you're watching and want to see more of it, make sure you check out my other YouTube channels, my second YouTube channel, my Eclipse channel, and of course, make sure you follow the action live on my Twitch channel. All links available in the description down below. Alcremie, Palkia, Calyx Ice Rider, Mimikyu, Amoonguss, and Incineroar. All right, so a pretty standard Calyx Ice Rider Palkia team, but there's an Alcremie on this one, which is strange for sure. Matchup wise, it's interesting, I'll say that much. I don't think this team has the best Trick Room answers. This looks pretty tough because my Calyx Ice Rider switch-ins, I'm looking for them, and yeah, there's no Ice Rider switch-in really here. I don't even know. Can I break through Amoonguss plus like Calyx Ice Rider? That seems pretty difficult. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna bring out the Grimmsnarl here, I think. I don't know. Do I bring in Grimmsnarl immediately? I do think Grimmsnarl is necessary. I think I have to probably leave Charizard on the bench. This is difficult because just dealing with Calyx Ice Rider seems really tough. I kind of want to go with like Yveltal Groudon lead, which is a really strange combination, but it threatens Amoonguss plus redirection. It threatens Incineroar plus like a Trick Room because the Life of Blades can do a lot of damage. So I think that's the right call. Have Gastrodon because I think it's a passive switch, and then bring the Grimmsnarl in the back. Gastrodon, of course, can maybe yawn the Calyx, which could be huge, although yeah, this looks pretty difficult. I don't know if the Alcremie is actually going to be brought in this matchup. However, I'd probably be more worried about just Calyx Ice Rider support in general. Incineroar, Amoonguss, Mimikyu, Calyx Ice Rider, or Palkia over Mimikyu would be pretty difficult. But we are going to see something like a Incineroar plus Mimikyu slot, which I'm not too surprised about. Okay, as we do lead our Yveltal plus our Groudon. Oh, do they parting shot out immediately or not? That is a big question here. That is a massive question. I could max here. I do kind of just want to throw off maybe a Rock Slide here. And a this is still not the best spot. I think probably just a foul play into the Mimikyu just to break a disguise, potentially go for the Precipice Blades immediately, or Rock Slide. I am thinking Rock Slide because I could get the flinch on Mimikyu. I think I would go for the Rock Slide here, and I do think it's the better play. We're gonna see a Fake Out come out probably in the Groudon anyway. Yep. I don't think I could knock out Mimikyu anyway if I break the disguise, if I Dynamax Groudon, so there's no really big point of that. I do get a foul play off into the Mimikyu slot. All right, that's pretty nice, and we're going to see the Trick Room come out. Yep. All right, now this is where the big question is, because Incineroar can go for Flare Blitz here, or it can go for a parting shot and maybe bring out the Ice Rider here. Now I'm not too sure which one I would expect right here. I think the best mid ground is probably to go Gastrodon on this slot, and probably also go Grimmsnarl on the other slot, because this could be Wisp into Groudon and a Flare Blitz in Yveltal, or maybe a parting shot here. So I think I'm just gonna go double switch out here into Gastro and into Grim. Although maybe I should no, because I can't let my Grimmsnarl take a Flare Blitz. So I have to do it in this order. I was thinking like it'd be better not to get burned because that reduces my foul play damage. However, I think I have to take that opportunity, unfortunately. We're gonna see the Flare Blitz immediately, which makes sense. Is this the Groudon? No, it's into the Gastro slot. Okay, perfect. They're trying to get chip damage, which is pretty significant. They get the burn anyway. They get the burn anyway. They went for a Wisp. Okay, they missed a Grimmsnarl. I guess that's a little bit fair. Okay. This is okay-ish. They're probably gonna parting shot here. Do I have... I probably... Actually, I don't know. Do I underspeed Calyx Ice Rider? I think I do. I can go for an Earth Power here. Just get some chipping in Incineroar. Or maybe I chipped a Mimikyu, actually. I think chipping the Mimikyu is probably better here. I do think chipping the Mimikyu is a little bit better here. I'm going to go for a Reflect here. Or do I want to go for... I think Reflect is correct. Yeah, I think Reflect is correct. I was thinking Foul Play, double up the Mimikyu, but I just don't think that's worth it. I really don't. because if I go for the foul play and they go for a flare blitz, that's going to hurt and do a lot of damage. So Earth Power into Mimikyu, get some decent chip. I don't think the yawn matters too much. They stay in the Snarl, which is really good for me actually, because that's a turn they're not abusing with Ice Rider at all. So I'll definitely take that. We'll find out what Mimikyu goes for. I guess it's going to be Taunt. Okay. So I can't go for a light screen or anything. However, I pretty much got what I wanted here. The Reflect is probably the biggest part here. However, I can't really switch anymore. This is okay still. I can go for I think I double up the Mimikyu slot. Earth Power plus Foul Play seems like the best case. Yeah, because they don't have a switch into Earth Power plus Foul Play. Foul Play is going to do a lot. Mimikyu probably survives barely, I'd imagine, with the Foul Play and Earth Power combination because of the Snarl. And then do they bring in Ice Rider? But the thing is, they're going to have Ice Rider probably out of Trick Room, and that's where I can probably capitalize the most. Wait, it was Snarl, so is it U-turn? Or is it Parting Shot? I don't know if it's Assault Vest or not. If it's Assault Vest, it probably makes it easier for my Groudon. However, I guess we'll just find out. Mimikyu's going to retreat. Okay, something is taking a foul play here. Calyx Ice Rider. Oh, you do not want that to take a foul play. That's beautiful. And that's the main threat to me. I'll definitely take that. All right. So here comes a Earth Power and a Foul Play. This is Earth Power damage is probably going to be very little, but the Foul Play is going to hurt a lot. So that's excellent here. Foul Play into the Calyrex. Yeah, as you can see, beautiful, beautiful damage. Oh, that's so nice here. They actually risked the Calyx Ice Rider on the Mimikyu, which is fantastic. I wonder if they thought I didn't have Foul Play, but yes, this Foul Play Grimmsnarl just made it so much harder for them now to win, because their win condition is now a Pokemon. If they want to max, I'm okay with that too. The Mimikyu super weakened at this point in the game, where I think -1 life or max Quake will knock it out. Beautiful. The best position I could have asked for. We'll find out what they decide to bring out here. And then the question is, do I want to go for Earth Power in the Calyx Ice, or do I want to go for a Yawn? I think I'd probably just go for the Earth Power and dish out some damage. I wonder if Palkia comes in. Palkia could still be a scary endgame. But with the max option, I'm probably going to use my Groudon. I think I'll be okay alongside the Assault Vest Yveltal. You're going to see the Palkia come out. That's all right. I don't know if the Calyx is actually... I mean, I don't know. Do you actually go... I think Grim might live a Glacial Lance because we had to Reflect up. I don't know for certain, however. I'm just going to Yawn here and go for a Foul Play into the Calyx. Palkia doesn't carry Max Lightning normally, and if I can like put the Palkia in a really awkward position to Palkia Dynamaxes, it's absolutely huge. Although I don't know if you would really want to Dynamax the Palkia in this situation. I'd imagine you probably... I'm actually just surprised Palkia came out, because I feel like you could have probably brought in like Mimikyu to reset the Trick Room. But okay, they do stay in. Glacial Lance probably coming out. Yep, Glacial Lance. I guess if they get a double knockout here, it's not exactly the best. It's just with Lance. If they KO me... If I survive a Grim, I'm okay, yeah. Like that. Because I imagine I just KO'd a Calyx Ice Rider now, which is perfect, because now the Calyrex is not something I have to worry about, and that was the biggest threat to Yveltal and Groudon, because this team did not have switches to Calyrex, so we are able to eliminate the Calyrex. Beautiful. And the Palkia, it's pretty much forced to take the sleep the next turn. Spatial Rend. I guess they were doubling up the Gashadon slot. Okay. A little bit awkward, however, still very, very manageable at the end of the day. Yeah, we go hard Groudon, and I think we start Quaking up. If Incineroar comes out, that's okay. I just go for a Max Quake into the Incineroar, I imagine, and swap out any Yveltal, because this is where this team, I think, gets to shine, because we have a very physically defensive Yveltal alongside the Assault Vest and the Max Quake with the Groudon. It's going to be like near impossible, I think, for my opponent to KO without getting extremely lucky with crits. And even with crits, the only thing that could really crit me is like Mimikyu or Incineroar in the late game. Mimikyu is going to come out, no surprise. I imagine Palkia is just going to switch out to Incineroar, which is pretty much what I expected. And this is where I get to shine here with the Max Quake option into Mimikyu, as well as I could Light Screen here, but I just don't see a reason to go for the Light Screen if I don't have to. If I can just get offensive pressure and prevent the Trick Room immediately, I'll just happily take it, right? Because if the Palkia is slower than my Yveltal, I get to just go for Snarl and Max Quake pretty efficiently, because my Groudon's actually really fast, as it's... I think it's Jolly or Adamant max speed on this team. It has no bulk. We have the Incineroar coming out, no surprise. However, I'm pretty sure Life or Max Quake should knock out the Mimikyu, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be faster than Mimikyu. I'd be very shocked if this was a very fast Mimikyu. especially on these Trick Room teams where they generally really need the bulk to survive one hit and guarantee Trick Room in this format. And yeah, we'll bring out the Yveltal. Let's see. And then next turn, I'm hoping we can get a max Quake KO onto the Incineroar afterward. And yeah, a +2 Assault Vest, the Yveltal, a +2 Groudon. Really going to bring on the pain. And that's why I kind of want to go for the Yawn and punish them if they Dynamax the Palkia. But assuming I was able to get the knockdown Calyrex, I was just going to be in such a phenomenal position for Groudon to pick up a knockout here, or potentially two, while setting up for the Yveltal. And that's what I really liked here. And it looks like it's going to work out. It does, assuming this KOs. I imagine, even though we're -1, we do have a Life Orb. Yeah, goodbye Mimikyu. Perfect. Exactly how I wanted it. Now we get to see the Palkia come in. However, I think on a Trick Room team, I really doubt it's going to be... I wonder what kind of Alcremie it is, because I wonder if it's actually Choice Scarf or if it's a different variant. Because a Choice Scarf one means that they can run fast Palkia. However, I imagine that this is a Trick Room Palkia. They usually just run hard Trick Room on a Palkia Calyrex Ice Rider team. And I don't know. Maybe it is a fast one, but even if it's a fast one, we do have a +1 on Groudon, and I don't think they can KO without a crit anyway. We're going to go for a Snarl plus Max Quake. If they go for Snarl, if they go for Fake Out, it doesn't really change too much, assuming no crits here. If they crit, I don't think they knock out Yveltal. If they crit the Groudon, I get to go Grimmsnarl, and then it gets a little bit rough because the Incineroar is going to tank my attacks and I can't dish out huge amounts of damage. I could potentially win in theory. However, I wouldn't really like my odds in that case because Flare Blitz would probably just do a lot to the Yveltal and I wouldn't be able to really damage the Yveltal through Snarl decreases. So I'm really hoping for no crit here. Or if they crit, at least let me get the damage off into Incineroar. Hopefully it's not max speed on the Palkia. I wonder what item it's going to be. We saw the policy already on the Calyrex Ice Rider. I'd imagine... do they run Life Orb on these teams? I actually don't remember what the Palkia item usually runs here. Maybe Lustrous Orb. Palkia going to max. Gonna attempt to come back. And my opponent does need the Palkia to dish out a lot of damage here. Fake Out going to come out into the Yveltal. Yep, as anticipated. And we are faster than the Palkia, which means that we are able to get a max Quake off. Does this KO Incin? Yeah, a huge point of running the Life Orb on the Groudon is being able to knock out the Incineroar through the Intimidate, especially with that extra chip damage. And yes, now I think we do have the game secured because I'm pretty sure Palkia can't crit knockout Yveltal even at this stage of the game. And gonna be Max Geyser. Okay, they get the rain up. I wonder if I should prevent the... Should I get another Max Quake up or should I Rockfall? Because a crit in the rain is probably worse. Although they probably max... do they max guard here? Because they kind of need the offensive turns. But they could prevent me from getting another max boost with my Yveltal. I think my play here is just to Flare here. Yeah, Flare actually makes more sense. I think Flare to reduce the damage because they might try to go for crit in Yveltal now. And if they do try to go for the crit in Yveltal, I deny it with the Flare. And yeah, I think that's what they wanted because I think their only shot knocking out Yveltal is this turn with the rain up, getting a Max Geyser into the Yveltal and critting it. I think that was their only win con, so I'm going to deny it right here with the Max Flare. And another Snarl for, I guess, safety measures. Reduce the damage on that Palkia. Decent damage. All right, should be Geyser in the Yveltal. Yep. Okay. Perfect, yeah. And as you can see, this Yveltal +2 special defense. I guess it's not technically over. However, I do think we have a pretty good chance of just winning now. I'm going to go for Oblivion Wing in case like there's a bit of HP marks that change it. And do I switch out Groudon here? I guess I do because Groudon always just goes down to attack anyway. I might as well just get the Grimmsnarl in so I can reset my attack stage because I am -1 from the Incineroar. And we'll go for the Oblivion Wing here for recovery. They will go for the Max Geyser one more time. And that's fine by me. I might have to hit moves if they do crit my Yveltal, and I don't know if they pick up the knockout with the crit. We'll find out. But they do need a crit here desperately. If they don't crit this turn, they just instantly lose because I think I just get in my Groudon and reset the sun. Max Geyser. Do you crit? Do you crit? It's not over yet. Okay, you don't crit, thankfully. And yeah, it was Life or Palkia. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I think we just win here. I go hard in a Groudon. And Oblivion Wing because Spatial Run crit won't knock me out because I have the Assault Vest still on deck. And the Oblivion Wing should to a KO. If not foul play, probably KOs after the Oblivion Wing, and they're going to forfeit. Nice. So I was able to, I think the big turn for this game was getting a foul play off into the Calyx Ice Rider. They gave me their Calyx Ice Rider. And that's the thing about Grim. I don't think they were expecting foul play on it because of having a Yveltal. So I imagine they probably thought it was going to be Spirit Break on the Yveltal if they didn't know the team. But yeah, just having the foul play option there for the Calyx Ice Rider, which again, this team doesn't have many switch-ins to Calyx Ice Rider. You have to punish it somehow. And the foul play Grim was really nice there, as I was able to dish out a huge amount of damage to Calyx Ice Rider where they couldn't max. And Glacial Lance was threatening my entire team. No matter what I brought, it was just going to destroy it. And I couldn't really go Charizard mode because the Charizard mode was super inconsistent because it didn't have a way to like get rid of the Mimikyu's disguise, get through it. There was a Moongus redirection that could have been a little bit awkward. Palkia was pretty good to set up, I think Trickerman as well. There was just so many things preventing me from like going with a normal Charizard KO to Calyx mode. And that's kind of what the Calyx teams are designed to, right? Protect the Calyx. I had to play a little bit differently, but them staying with the Incineroar, I think, was the thing that hurt them the most, as I was able to buy more turns, stall out the Trick Room. And then when they got impatient, I just took the knockout, which was the biggest thing that could have happened. Shedinja, Ditto, Indeedee, Landorus Fairing, Kyogre, and Zacian. Now, Shedinja, this is going to be an interesting team matchup right here. Okay, what I noticed on their team, they don't have Tailwind support at all, which is very unique here. Landorus is probably the only Pokemon that usually maxes, other than maybe Kyogre, if that's going to be their max option, but I imagine it's always going to be Landorus. And then the Ditto here. Yveltal is really good to help out a little bit there. Landorus is actually the biggest threat to my team overall. They don't have good answers to Gastrodon, which is interesting here. I could see myself leading Gastrodon. I don't know if it's going to be like an Energy Ball Indeedee tech, however. The Aleki could be nice. However, I don't think it's necessary against their team. I think I go with like Grimmsnarl lead here. I think Grimmsnarl is pretty solid next to Yveltal. Do I want to go for that? I think I do. I definitely feel like I bring Charizard though. I feel like Charizard's just so good here. Do I not bring Groudon then? Because I don't think I need Groudon. It would help, but like all my mons kind of deal with the... I feel like all my mons kind of deal with their side anyway, right? And getting a Rockfall doesn't change anything for them. I also don't want them to transform into my offensive Groudon because I feel like that could screw over my plan here. I will find out, I suppose. I do think having Wildfire is really nice here. And I don't want to... Like, if I don't bring Groudon, I don't give them, like, Solar Power themselves. And I think that's really good. Kyogre plus Landorus lead. Okay. I wonder... Well, they're probably going to be faster with the Kyogre. Intimidate going to go off first. Okay, so it's not Choice Scarf on the Kyogre. That's really good to know. Am I faster? No, they're faster with Ring. Yeah, no surprise. Okay. That's not a terrible trade here. I could probably Light Screen up. This is a pretty good lead, pretty good bring for Gastro. I think the plan here is to go for a Light Screen here. Or is it Reflect? I could see myself going for Thunder Wave and Snarl. However, I don't really like that play too much here. I think it's Reflect or there's so many things I want to accomplish this turn because I don't know if they're going to Airstream or not. If they Airstream, it's pretty annoying for my Yveltal with their Life Orb. But I think I need Grimmsnarl to get a Light Screen up if I want to survive a Kyogre attack. Yeah, I think I have to Light Screen here. And I think I'm swapping out in Gastrodon this turn. I think Gastrodon is just so good for Yawn Pressure right here, or an Ice Beam just threatening the Landorus. I don't think this is going to be Rockfall. I think this should always be Airstream. However, yeah. Okay, they don't max at all. Sword Stance? U-Turn. Is that choiced? Maybe it's choiced. Or Assault Vest. You normally don't see U-Turn on Landorus in this format because they usually run like Sword Stance Fly, I feel like. All right. Zacian is in. I do get a big Light Screen off this turn. Okay. What the heck? They went straight for the Blizzard. Okay. I don't think I need Reflect Up this turn. No, I do need Reflect Up. I'm going to go for the Reflect here. And I kind of want to throw off an Earth Power. I kind of also want to Ice Beam because I think Landorus could swap back in. I care about Zacian. It is the annoyance for Gastrodon, I suppose. If I could catch, if I could snipe here, that'd be really nice. If I could, I think I just Earth Power to Kyogre. I think they're like pretty committed not to Dynamax to Kyogre at this point. Nice, they stay in. All right. I don't know what they're doing with the Zacian. Maybe just Behemoth Blade here. Oh, they play off the Gastrodon. These are lucky survivals. But Blizzard, okay, they do miss a Blizzard. That's cool. Okay, I am able to get an Earth Power off into the Kyogre. Yeah, their Gastrodon answers are like, what? Huge damage to Kyogre. Crit. Okay, beautiful. Okay. This is one of the stranger games I played ever. I'm gonna Thunder Wave their Zacian. They're gonna protect here, which is okay here. Did they Origin Pulse this time? I guess we'll find out. I want to Thunder Wave their Zacian because I could set up for Charizard maybe endgame. Because I want to focus down the Kyogre damage wise. They go for another Blizzard. Jeez. Oh, do I want to Thunder Wave Ice Beam? Okay, these Blizzards are insane. I'm Thunder Waving here and I'm Ice Beaming. I'm Ice Beaming their Zacian. I'm calling the Landers right now. Dang it. And I missed Thunder Wave. What is with this game? What? What are these misses? What are these misses? Okay. Ice Beam. Watch me get the freeze. What are these misses? The Blizzard I can understand. It's not the most accurate move out there. But missing this many times is just crazy. I'm Earth Powering the Kyogre. Underweight to Zacian, so Charizard outspeeds. The only problem is we're kind of missing out on screen turns, although we are kind of like dodging all these attacks, which is really nice. They do go for the Protect here. Perfect. I am able to get an Earth Power off into Kyogre, and maybe with the Life Orb hit, it knocks it out, which would be really nice. Hey, I missed like 3 Blizzards onto my Grim. No freeze, thankfully. Earth Power into Kyogre. Shouldn't KO. Yeah, it barely misses the knockout. Rain's gonna stop, which is kind of nice for my Zard. Do I want to Ice Beam this turn? I'm tempted. Yet I don't think it's to play. I think I'll just Protect. I might max the Gastro now that I think about it. Maxing the Gastro is probably a really solid option against if they bring out the Landorus, I suppose. Although it does give me some riskier options. Zacian's in a weird spot. I'll just say that because they do swap out. Is this Landorus? Because this is a good play if they brought in Landorus. No, it's Ditto. Oh, so they can't get Thunder Waved. Okay. But I don't know if my Gastro set is really the best one for your case. At one time, I want them to hit Blizzard on my Grim. Hit the Blizzard on my Grim. Or are you going to miss again? Okay. It actually is good if they hit the Blizzard because they go down. Perfect. This is such a weird... This has just been weird. Okay, goodbye, Kyogre. Now let's find out. Should be Landorus. Yep. Gonna go for... I want to max here. I kind of want a Thunder Wave, and I kind of want to go for a... I don't know what their... I just don't know their sets. That's the thing. I don't know what their sets are. I kind of want a Thunder Wave and Ice Beam to Landorus. But that seems like a bad play if they max here. I think I'm just going to max myself, go for the Hailstorm. Because if I think this is the best option to deal with their Landorus. Because I don't have the best Landorus options on their side. They actually stay in. Don't tell me they're U-turning. I guess they could... Actually, they could U-turn here. So maybe this was a mistake. I want a Hailstorm because I want to knock out the Landorus so I can win with Zard. Because I think Zard can win at this point. Especially next to Yveltal. We'll find out. This could be a mistake. Gonna be Thunder Wave into... In case they switch into Zacian, they were baiting an Ice Beam. They did U-turn. Okay, good play on their part. I should survive. I do. Oh, this is bad if it's Yawn, actually. This is Yawn. This is pretty bad. If it's Yawn into Gastro, not exactly my best work here. Okay, now Landorus is tough. This game. This has been such a weird one. Okay, they just Earth Power. That's cool. Earth Power into the Grim, picks up the knockout. Please tell me Reflect is still up for another turn, because we've been on and off about counting these turns here. Hailstorm does come out, dishes out damage into their Zacian. If I could snipe their... I definitely go hard in the Zard here, that's for sure. That is for sure. Their Gastrodon has moved twice in a row. They might be Scarf. I want to go Charizard, and I want to Blast Burn their Zacian. I want to Hailstorm the Gastrodon, trying to cover for their Lander Switch, because I've been just trying to catch this Lander Switch forever, and that's kind of what my goal has been, because Landers can't take these attacks. Their Ditto, it can Earth Power my Gastro. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I guess the problem is if they sack these Pokemon, then Landers could win in the end game, especially with no Reflect and they still have Max available. The question is, do they want to sack the Zacian? Maybe they think the Zacian is important because Yveltal is a little bit scary for them, but we will see. I don't know if they exactly have the safest swaps though. I'd imagine this has to be Protect from Zacian, or they're just gonna, like, I guess trade is okay here. We will see. This has been okay. They maxed a Ditto. Okay. Not what I expected. Not what I expected at all. I'm probably okay with this. Let's find out. Gonna be Zacian Protect. Okay, so they're going for Hailstorm or Max Quake. I guess I could see either. Blast Burn into the Zacian. Get a Hailstorm off in a Gastro, which is gonna do very little damage, but Max Quake, okay. So that's okay. Yeah, that's an okay trade-off right there. I'm gonna Blast Burn their Zacian slot. I mean, I think Zacian has to be sacked here. I think Zacian's probably gonna get sacked here. What did they sack? Because the thing is, light screen's off. That's okay. I want to protect and I want to Hailstorm their Zacian because they still don't live -1 Behemoth. They still don't live the -1 attack here. And I think Zacian's way important than Landorus, since Landorus can't Dynamax anymore. Oh, do I want to go for this? I feel like I do. Because I don't think I can let the Charizard get weakened. Did they Hailstorm the Charizard and switch out into Landorus? I think that's like the game losing position. Yes. Okay. Beautiful. This is Landorus. Perfect. I guess if they win the speed tie with, or if they're Assault Vest, that could be a little bit annoying. However, I'll still have Charizard around to deal with their slot. So this is perfect. This is perfect. I got the right read this time around. Able to protect Charizard because I had a feeling that they would save the Zacian because the Zacian's kind of necessary. I think Charizard's still able to live a Behemoth. Oh, they went for Max Quake again. Okay. Almost knocks out my Gastrodon. No, it was just normal damage. Jeez. Okay. How much does Hailstorm do to Landorus? Because I actually have no clue. Here comes a Hailstorm into you. Okay. Very significant damage. That puts in Sucker Punch range. Can I beat the Gastro is the question? I think I can. I need to swap out Reflect Wears off, which kind of stinks for my Charizard. Yeah, my Charizard should still live a Behemoth Blade, or at least one of them. We go hard Yveltal here, and we're going to throw off a Ice Beam, I suppose, into the Landorus. No reason to protect here. Probably Rock Slot. Actually, no, maybe there was a reason to protect. And I think they're doubling up the Charizard slot anyway. I don't think they would target the Gastro. I bring out the Yveltal. Let's see. Rock Tomb, okay. Does that change much? Not really. Isn't the Gastrodon locked into... I'm pretty sure the Gastrodon was locked into Earth Power, right? Ice Beam comes out. Could I win a speed tie? Okay, goodbye Landorus. That's huge. If the Gastrodon is locked into Earth Power, they kind of use up their PP as well. Hailstorm gonna come out into the Gastro. Oh. I guess not having Rock Slide did kind of change that up, but that's amazing for me. Okay. I think Charizard comes in. I literally have no idea what this game was. Here comes Zacian. Yep. I'm like pretty confident though that Gastrodon's Dynamax over and it was locked in, right? I'm like very confident you were locked in here. Were you locked into Ice Beam? I think you. What did they go for? No, they are powered, right? They are powered by Grim. Yeah, and then they never switched out. And it should be Scarf on the Gastro, I think. Unless I've been baited this entire time, then yeah, that's unfortunate here. However, let's go for the foul play, I guess, into a Blast Burn. Scorching Sand's not going to KO, and I don't want to risk Scorching Sand into Sucker Punch because I don't think that KOs Zacian. Battle's going to be forfeited. Okay. Which is interesting because I think they could win on a crit. I think they could have won on a crit there into my Charizard with Behemoth Blade, but yeah, what was that game? What was how many Blizzards missed? How many Playros missed? Like, what the heck? How many moves missed in that game that were like 90% accuracy there? Because I missed Thunder Wave. They missed like 3 Blizzards, 2 Playros. I mean, I probably would have had to made so many aggressive reads. I probably would have played more passive then. And yeah, it was definitely close. I definitely could have probably like played a bit more defensive, but when they're kind of just drawing off these like really powerful inaccurate moves, like what else am I supposed to really do? That's how I felt. So I was like, okay, I'll risk some things. And I didn't want to yawn to Kyogre, for instance, because I felt like, oh, maybe they have Max Lightning and they can Max Lightning, and that would be pretty bad because I wasted yawn. I took all the damage onto the Gastro. It didn't seem worth it, and I was too busy trying to snipe the landers, and they just didn't work out. I don't know. That's just crazy to me, though. And that is the show. Overall, was really solid. The Life of Groudon really coming into play. One of the things that the Yveltal just hates facing, of course, is going to be Incineroar. Incineroar just does so much damage with the Flare Blitz. Punch Shot always just like kind of stalls out the Yveltal, can pretty much pivot around on most of its moves. Even Oblivion Wing doesn't do too much damage to a bulky Incineroar. However, the Precipice Blades, Life of Groudon, just dishes out so much damage, especially to Incineroar, that it can knock it out even through Intimidate, which is pretty insane. And yeah, like the team had a pretty good balance of offense and the defense. When I had to slow down the pace, like I had the tools, and when I needed to go on the offensive, like the Groudon and the Charizard were able to dish out quite a bit. But if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. Try out the team with the rental code on your screen, and you can check out the placement of the team available in the description down below, alongside the video again where Wolf does teach Shade and Animations VGC with this team. Highly recommend go check it out. But otherwise, you can check out the rest of my Series 12 content where I use a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon in Series 12. But that is going to be it from me. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.